FPL lovers, welcome back to my shed, focus shed. Hello, Big Nose Monkey. How you doing, my good friend? How you doing? Football for you tonight? Bet you're looking forward to that. Up against the mighty Wolves. It's all right. Okay, I'm going to tell you straight away. Can you hear me? Have I switched my mic on? Yes, I have. Maybe move it a little bit further away because I do like to shout a bit sometimes. We haven't got long. I have got till 6 p.m. UK time, so 43 minutes. I've got a bit of a shiny head on this side, haven't I? No, this side. What's going on? Let's turn the light up there a little bit. Okay, let's see if that makes a difference. Maybe not quite so shiny. We shall see. New bulb going on. Right. So, this is my game week. So, I've got a whistle-stop tour because I've got a lot to get through. So, take a big swig of my coffee. And let's go. I'm great. The White's up against the Wolves tonight. Yes, mate. Calm down with a bit of this first. I'm giving this up, I promise. Right. Let's go. Right, my game week. How's it gone? So, 60 points in total in the end, last game week. Quite happy with that because I got back into the green arrow territory, which has been how it's been pretty much since the World Cup. Couple of red arrows, but after a red arrow the week before, I'm pretty much 2188, 2150, pretty much where I was the week before, so sort of leveled off. Yeah, I'll get to my transfers in a minute, mate, very quick, otherwise I'm going to run out of time. Gakpo, though, ooh, maybe not. So that's how my week went. Tarkowski was my last minute transfer. Very happy to have him on board. 8 points. Thank you very much. Instead of Rico Lewis, who again didn't feature. So a transfer paid off for me, which was great news. Fernandez was a lovely differential for me. Glad I held on to him. I was talking about how I wish I'd sold him the week before. So we shall see what happens moving forward. Because again, I'm planning on holding on to it. Rashford with 15 points. Odegaard returned again. More points than Saka, who got the goal. Odegaard with a cheeky assist, but all 3 bonus as well. So hopefully that is him ready for this double game week, about to absolutely smash it. Gabriel still letting me down. Brought him in instead of Luke Shaw for these doubles. Let's hope he smashes it in the next 2 game weeks and makes that transfer worthwhile. Matoma had a blank. Trippier had a blank. Kepa blanked. Haaland, my captain, blanked. Kane, 5 points, got a cheeky little assist there as well, but no bonus. No points on my bench, really, but everybody playing, which is good news. Greenwood coming on for 4 minutes from the end, and I'm hoping to pray into the Lord above he starts this weekend up against Southampton. And if he does take some free kicks and things like that. So that'd be a great one for him to start if he gets to start this week. So obviously, Leeds struggling so far. Best replace for Patterson, Matip, Coleman or Kilman. I think Liverpool have got the better fixtures, mate, out of those 3. So for me, I'd suppose it just depends whether Matip starts all the games. I think Patterson is a little bit longer out. It's between Coleman and Kilman. Coleman and Kilman. Toss of the coin, mate, to be honest with you. Toss of the coin. Nice to have you on board, Joe. Thanks very much, mate, for joining in and sharing your question, mate. Right, well, so that's how my week's gone. Let's go and have a look and see how the league looked last week and see who was manager of the week. It was Biswanath College, 79 points. Well done, Biswanath. Fair dues, mate. Went from climbed 8 places in the league this week, showing you really loves it, my friend. Not as much as John McHale. 23 points gained from his transfers. Well done, John. That is amazing. The underperformers there well and truly performing. Best all-time rank, still Al Swiffen. We shall share his top 3 picks for this game week shortly, alongside Aritravo's and Evie's differential weekly punts coming very shortly. Most transferred in, Tarkowski. Most transferred out, Mitrovic. Most captained was Haaland. This is our league. The league is now 56 teams, so much better analysis going on there now. Still top of the league, though, Raniel Thomas. Well done, mate. A, B, C, D, E, F, C with your team. Let's see if we can have a quick look at that. It's worth a look when you're top of the league, isn't it? Maybe you should remove Ake. He's not guaranteed. I would personally. Depends if you're taking a hit or not. This is the question. But Man City defence for me is done. And I think the only player at this minute who is guaranteed in my team. I've only got Haaland. I've just sold De Bruyne this week. Look, this is Raniel. Well done, mate. Doing amazing. Can we see your team? Can we see your team this way? Not sure if we can. No, we'll come out of that. Sorry about that. If we click game week points, maybe we get to see your team like this. 54 points. There we go. There's your teams. Who have you got? Kepa, Trippier, White and Shaw. So you held on to Shaw. Fernandes, Rashford, Saka, De Bruyne. Wonder if you've sold De Bruyne this week. Mitrovic didn't play. Haaland and Ketia. And you had Andreas come in with 3 points off your bench. Ake, as we can see here, he played in the fixture. How many minutes did he play? He played 1 minute in the last game. Maybe he's due a start, mate. Untitled channel, bot hard bantai. Not sure what that means, mate. I do apologise. BHOT, is that an abbreviation for summer? Gakpo's got better underlying numbers than Salah. Possibly, mate. If you can't afford Salah, then Gakpo might be a good choice. Salah's just got history, and he got another. Albeit they got humiliated in the week. He got another return in the Champions League, didn't he? Another goal, although it was fortunate. So he is still ticking over nicely. You're so underrated. Thanks very much, mate. Who by? Who's underrating me? Almiron to Gakpo. I think that's a no-brainer. If it's not gonna, Almiron's not somebody I definitely want the following game week. Gakpo, I think that's a good transfer, Marjuk. Yes. Who are you thinking about taking out Gakpo for Gakpo, Big Nose? So yeah, this is Raniel. Well done, Raniel. Let's go and have a look and see how Biswanath is doing. Let's see if we can find him. Not just there he is. 79 points. Awesome stuff, mate. Awesome week that. Anyone who started with a 6 really had a really good week. Kepa in goal. Shaw. So you had Lewis and Cucurella. So you had people coming in off your bench. Who was it? Trippier and Bueno. I see you got Forster as your backup goalkeeper. And then you had Salah. So you've obviously got ready for this week. Saka, Odegaard, Rashford as your captain. Great choice, mate. Well done. Fair play to you if you're watching or if you're watching later. 9 points in the bank from Bruno Fernandes and Ollie Watkins with 6 points. We have talked about Watkins on the stream. He scored 4 in his last 4 as well. And maybe this is the week to get Watkins in, although they're not on a double. So that is a brief whistle stop. Let's stop tour of the league. Who else had a really good week? Let's just have a quick look. Anybody else with a 7 in the front? Lovely to have 56 members in the league. 64 points. Hidden talent. Great score. 60s. Me and Carl Hunter. I'm not letting you pass, Carl. No way, mate. Who else on 69 points? Tom Simpkins. Great week, mate. 61. Jake. 63s. Matty Lafford. Lovely, mate. This one after 79, rising up the league. Nathan Allen, well done, Nathan, mate. 73 points. Keep asking me questions. I'm going to come asking you, mate. 60s all the way up here. John Arbuckle, Robert Simpkins, Hazarul on 63. Aritravo, my good friend, 62. Alexander Yesman, that's you. That's you, Big Nose Monkey, 61 points. So if you're not in the league and you want to be, code in the description below. Do click on it and join in. That'll be lovely to see what you're thinking there. Let's have a quick look while we're on this website. See what the elite ownership was for last week. And then we'll have a quick look and see what the press conferences are telling us from the last 2 days. So this is the template team, obviously going into last week from the top 20 career managers according to Premier Fantasy Tools. So still Kepa and Ward in goal. Trippier, Shaw, White, Patterson, Bueno. In defence, obviously this is last week before any transfers. Rashford, De Bruyne, Andreas, Saka, Fernandes, Haaland and Ketia Mitrovic. Interesting to see how that changes going into this game week. But no Liverpool players in there. I'm sure that'll be changed as of next week. Let's have a look and see. Take a quick sip of this. And then I shall have a quick look at the comments. Press release, press conference summaries. This is a free website. You can support it for a nominal monthly fee, like £1.50, something like that. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. £1.50. Gabriel Jesus, I do believe, is back on the grass. He's training, but they're taking their time, waiting for him to come back. Thomas Partey will be great if he's back, because I think Arsenal are just a better team when he plays for them. There you go. He says it's a really important play for us. We missed in the last few games. Hopefully he can be available. Villa. Is anybody going Villa this week? Nobody of massive interest there, I don't think. Pulisic is out injured still. Aspilicueta is out injured, which if I'm sure that means a start for Reece James after his rest last weekend. Zaha's getting better for Palace, but I don't think anybody's going there. No Dom Calvert-Lewin still for the mighty Ev. Which is interesting. Obviously, Everton on a double game week this week, but looking like they could well be back. I don't think Nathan Patterson makes it. He's had a slight knock, and it seems like it was in the under-21 game last week. So I fully expect, personally, Coleman to start this week. However, he is back training, so it could be Patterson. In answer to the question before, Kilman or Coleman, I think Kilman wins that battle for me, to be honest with you, just because of the uncertainty around Patterson starting. Available, good news, Amadou Onana. There you go, just what I've just said there. Delayed him training this week. This evening might play Mitrovic. Doesn't sound like, listen to the press conference. Today he was on the pitch already, he was outside. It'd be difficult for him to be ready. Let's see what the news will be for tomorrow. So it's going to be touch and go, but we've been there before with Mitrovic. And then he started. I think I actually sold him on one of those. Leeds United, not on a double this week. Ruled out. Rodrigo still ruled out. Leicester City might play James Maddison. We've been talking about him recently. They're sort of like nursing him back from his big injury. He'll be back soon. We have to see how he is. He's still nursing a knee issue, so they're just assessing that. Could well be somebody to look at for next week. Liverpool now, double game week, so lots of people looking at these players. What's the news here? Well, ruled out is Luis Diaz. Thiago, Calvin Ramsey, not really on anybody's radar for bringing in this week. But this is the interesting part. We are not sure if all of the boys could even play again after Madrid because of some of the knocks here and there. We're really not 100% clear. So then we have to make changes, and we will make changes anyway. So just be careful. We cannot play all the time with exactly the same players. There were times when Sadio, Mo and Bobby were very young. Maybe they played a lot of games, but even then we needed to make changes. Jurgen Klopp on rotation. So there's no guarantee these players play every single game. I think Salah starts, both of them, if I'm going to be totally honest, because they do need to get back up the league. But Yotta's on his return, isn't he? Whether Nunez and Gakpo start both games is another question, to be honest with you. I'm not convinced. So yeah, we'll have a look at that in a minute. Manchester City ruled out John Stones. Laporte might play Kevin De Bruyne. It's a maybe for KDB. Had a bit of illness. I think KDB's back in training today. Laporte looks like he's out. Looks like Stones is out. So Ake may be a hold this game week, I think, Monkey. We'll see later. Kevin maybe can be involved in Bournemouth. The other two, I don't think so. So he's a maybe, but I have sold him. That's my personal way of doing things. Lots of players ruled out at Nottingham Forest, but they've got lots of players, so not too worried. We talked about the missing the centre-backs, and it was almost like they didn't even notice it last week when they played Man City, only conceding one and getting a draw. Aurier will be out, though, if anybody was hoping for him to come back anytime soon. Southampton, no one's investing in Southampton at this minute in time. So I'm not even going to waste my breath on them. The only thing is Leeds are playing them. Spurs, not any news, nothing new to the last game, says Christian Stellini for Tottenham Hotspur in the absence of Conte still. Basuma still ruled out. Bentancur we know for the rest of the season. And Hugo Lloris for anybody who has Forster on their bench. He's still a great option to start this week. Whilst Chelsea and Tottenham, well, maybe not. Maybe not playing Chelsea. We'll see. Might play Poqueta. Could well be back. That'd be good news for West Ham because they do need him. I think he looked like their best player before he got injured. And then on to Wolverhampton Wanderers, who do have a double game week this week, but do not go for Hwang Hee-chan because his hamstring's knackered. But Mario Lemina is back from suspension and you can go there if you want to. Big thanks to Mark de Cavallo for his hard work on this website, FPL Popper in our league. Don't forget, by the way, guys, if you haven't joined the league and you want to, this is what is up for grabs. Not just the title of the Who Really Loves It League winner. You get a cup to drink out of every day to remind yourself how much you love it. Which, by the way, at the minute, is probably a bit more than me. Little drink of water. Oh, got a bit of coffee left. Right, let's go to the comments. Let's go to the comments. Give me a second. Where are we up to? Oh, there's been a few. What do we go to? You're so underrated. Almiron to Gakpo. Yes, so Big Nose Monkey. I could actually go Darwin, Kane, Haaland front line. I did think about it. You can, mate. You can. Do you want Darwin next week? Are you confident he starts both games? That's the only thing I'll say. Don't let me put you off. Please don't let me put you off. Because he is actually starting to look like the player we all think he was going to be when we've had him in our teams earlier this season. So I do actually think he is starting to look like that player. And he may well be a player to target moving forward. Let's have a look. So yeah, you could do, mate. You could. Hello, mate. Lots of hits today, lol. I'm currently on no hits whatsoever, and I'm hoping that is my differential this week. I took lots of hits earlier in the season, including one 16-pointer one week, which did not pay off, by the way. I also brought in Gabriel for sure for the double game week, and that didn't pay off either. So it's not always a given, guys. Right, Siberian Armour Tiger, how you doing, my friend? Thanks for joining. Bro, should I transfer Kane out for Nunes and Almiron out for Salah or Gakpo? I just think with Kane, if we look at the fixtures, let me just go back to my team a second. If we go to my team, which, by the way, I have transferred out KDB for Salah this game week. And, oh, why isn't the captaincy on him? It should be. Let me change that now. Obviously didn't save it when I did it. And then the vice captaincy over here on Odegaard. What was I looking at? Nunes. Kane. He's got some lovely fixtures starting next week. Look at these bad boys. He's got Chelsea this week, but then he's got Wolves, Forest, Southampton, Everton, Brighton, and then Bournemouth. So he's got some fantastic fixtures, and I just think which is, I don't know what's the best set of fixtures. Liverpool's fixtures, mind you, they've got a few good fixtures. It's just how well they do. 3 out of the next. They've got the double here, obviously. Then they've got the home, but then they've got City, Chelsea, Arsenal in a row. I don't know what happens against Man United, to be honest with you. Certainly at home, I think Liverpool will raise the game like they did against the mighty Everton. So I don't know this week. It's a flip of a coin. I mean, I'm missing a player. I'm missing. I've actually got 9 players this week. I've got Greenwood with my fingers crossed that he starts. To be honest with you, Yeah, so I could still take a hit myself. I don't think it's likely at this moment in time. I think I'm going to stick with it. I want Kane from next week onwards. I want Haaland from next week onwards. I want Mitoma for the double game week that they've got. He's not playing this week, but then they're playing West Ham at home. Double game week in 27 up against Leeds and Palace. Although the game against Palace could be postponed yet again due to another railway strike. So that's a bit of an interesting one. But that double game week, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to transfer out any players I want back in next week. And I've already done that with Shaw, and that's quite a difficult one to get back to. I've kept basically Fernandes, Rashford, Trippier and Mitoma as the players to sort of hold on to for the next game week. Trippier, what's his ownership at right now? Still at 59.7. It's gone down from 64, but he's the number one performing defender. I'm not ready to give up on him just yet. I mean, they play Man City away, so maybe it is, but then it's Wolves at home, Forest, Man United a bit tougher, West Ham, Brentford, Villa, Spurs. This is their nicest set of fixtures. If they're going to do anything, they're going to do it sort of here, I think, this sort of period. And they've got this blank, obviously, to be rearranged versus Brighton at some point as well. And I'm just a bit scared about the ownership. Now I've started to climb the ranks again, excuse me, as well. If anybody wants me to run a poll, do say so. So, back to the question. Should I transfer Kane out for Nunes? I don't think so. If anybody else wants to say in the comments, then do so. And then Almiron out for Salah or Gakpo. If you need to transfer Kane out to raise the funds, then I wouldn't do that. Have you got two transfers? That's the other question. But Salah, I think, is a great addition to the team. I was myself and ahhing whether to transfer KDB out. I could afford it. So if this gives you a bit of background, I could afford to go KDB to Gakpo and Greenwood to Nunes. But I decided against it. Would have given me one extra player. Obviously, Greenwood is a doubt as well. I just didn't know which one of them to captain. That was the other thing. Salah is an obvious captain, I think. Odegaard's a pretty obvious. Maybe I could have captained Odegaard. I think this could be the week that Salah has a big return. And I've captained him twice this season on 2 occasions. He's done well for me. First game of the season, I can't remember which one. Right, I'm going to move on from that. Hope that sort of answers your question, buddy. My plan is Mitro to Darwin. I think that's a good transfer. To be honest with you, Bruno to Gakpo. I don't like the thought of losing Bruno. I don't think he's a better player than Gakpo. Obviously, this week he is. So, Ake to Robertson. Good shout, mate. And Botman to Tarkowski. That's a good shout as well, I think, possibly. So, which I like the first transfer. I don't like the second transfer. I like the third transfer. I like the fourth transfer. So, you've got to make sacrifices somewhere, actually. Does it strengthen you overall? Darwin, Gakpo, Robertson, Tarkowski over Botman, Ake, Bruno, Mitro. I think it does. I mean, United have got that blank coming up as well, haven't they? They've got 2 game weeks, and then they are blanking again. Let's have a look at their fixtures. Is it on here? 25. It's not on here yet. Why isn't it on here yet? Well, they've got the double in 29. They have got a black. Is it in 28? 27. Maybe it's not been fully announced yet. Right, this is a good time to go and check out Ben Krellin's latest draft. Sorry, it's not lined up. This draft of the blank and double game week planner. Let's have a look, see what this is looking like. I don't know if there's been an update today. And then I shall go. I've been using a new website this week called FPL Team, which I just like the look of it, to be honest with you. And I've planned my team out, and I can see where I'm going to have gaps in these upcoming blank game weeks. So there's the key at the top. You can all see that nicely. Yes, you can. Obviously, we see the blanks this week and the doubles. Full set next week, but then double in. We've got Brentford, Brighton, Crystal Palace and Southampton. So out of those for game week 27, there's not a massive. We're not going to be targeting Southampton players for their double. I'm not going to be targeting Crystal Palace up against City. Brighton are going to be the ones. And I would imagine Tony up against, although they're both away, up against Everton and Southampton, maybe Mbeumo. Those are the sort of players for the game week 27. But next week, we're, as you were, full hit of fixtures. And then we've got a big blank coming in 28 by the looks of it. Looks like Man United could be up for a blank here. Here's the chances of a blank, I think, next to it. Numbers next to the game weeks 28 show the probability of the fixture going ahead. So really low probability. It's not been confirmed yet. As you see, Man United 0.05. Leicester have got the most chance of it going ahead as of Brentford. As a fixture, everyone else, and Fulham. These ones here is a possible, but these more likely written in white. So these are things we need to sort of like take into account. 29 has been announced for double game week, otherwise it would just be possible. So these are the teams on a double game week for 29. So it is important, I think, to start thinking about your chip strategy over the coming game weeks. What time are we on? 5:42. Right, I've got 18 minutes. Let me show you this on FPL team then, which I've used. The link is in the description below for these FPL team. And this is the team as I've got looking this week. As you can see, those are my players on the blank. If I start going ahead, though, I can start to see, because I've done the transfer. I'm not minus 0.1. That's the transfer I've made. I've put that in. Luckily, I went and did my transfer early because I thought that might be the case. Game week 27. 28, as you can see, I've currently got Rashford and Salah and Haaland, Matoma, Fernandes and Kane on a blank. I did a bit of rearranging there. Everson, so I'm missing 3 players at this moment in time going into game week 28. Moving on, looking into game week 29. That's looking all right at the moment. 30. Is it 31? 32, is it? 32, I think I've got. Look at this. I've got quite a lot missing in game week 32. Kane, Haaland, Fernandes, Rashford, Mitoma, Trippier, Kepa. So this is something to really think about. Maybe it's maybe that's a wild card. Maybe we need to work towards filling our team with teams that are available during the game week 32, and then wild card in 33 is sort of like my thoughts at this moment in time. And I'm thinking game week 29 might be a week. I was thinking of doing my wild card in game week 30, but 32 looks like quite a big week now of blanks, etc., etc. We'll see, but yeah, it's something to bear in mind for you all. And I think FPL, I mean, Fantasy Premier Tools, Fantasy Football Hub, they've all got planners, live FPL, links for them all below. You know, just which one you prefer. I just like that one because it looks a bit like the official one, doesn't it? To be honest with you, and everything's on one screen. So yeah, I like that one there. So many thanks to FPL team for that one. Where are we up to? Comments. My plans, we've done that one. Pav, Waleed, Captain Salah or Saka, who is better? Mate, that is a flip of the coin. That's the $1 million question this week. For me, I think it's Salah. That's my choice. If I had both in my team, I'd go with Salah. I've got Odegaard and I'm still with Salah. I know Saka's on penalties as well, but they had one just last week. And I think they have the better fixtures. This week, Leicester away. Probably fairly easy, but Crystal Palace away and then Wolves at home for Liverpool should be better fixtures. Although Arsenal do look like they're back after that was I say they're back. They had a great second half, and a late goal, does feel like a big win, like they had up against. Can't remember whoever they played last time. Aston Villa. who did start off well. And again, keep on scoring, Villa, don't they? They're not the worst to be having at this moment in time. So for me, it's Salah. But do make your own choice, sir. Got James, Ake, Nico, Short and Almiron. Who to get in place of Ake and Nico with a -4 hit. Got 1.4 in the bank. Hello, Marjek. How you doing? And you got Trippier as well. Got James, Ake, Nico, Short and Almiron. Who to get in place of Ake and Nico with a -4. I just think you've got to go. You haven't got an Arsenal defender in there, so I think you need to go for one of those, mate. I would possibly say Zinchenko this game week. If it's short term, possibly Ben White. I think he's more nailed on than he was before. Tomiyasu had his little chance. Ben White's had a good rest. So I think that either of those two are pretty good shouts. Gabriel, however, is due a goal. He had 4-5 last season, 2.5 a season before that. He's had 2 so far this season. I think he's due another one. So I think he's one of the players to get in. And Tarkowski, I'm there. Everton fan, so I'm biased. Those are my thoughts there, sir. Hope that helps. Anybody else wants to comment, then please do. Farzad Ali, I'm going to share with you in 2 minutes, by the way. I'm just going to get through these comments. I haven't had time to do a slide for it, but I'm going to share with you Evie's weekly differential punts and Al and Aritravo, Audi's top 3 picks for this game week. 1 defender, 1 midfielder, 1 striker. Farzad, Darwin and Odegaard, Kane and Martinelli out, or Darwin and Trent. For me, Darwin and Odegaard, Liverpool defence is more leaky. Odegaard seems to be back in form. If you look at my FPL, on this FPL team here, I don't know why, but there's a recommendation. If I go back to my, go back to the game week we're on right here, right now, and it recommends your transfer down the bottom, which was Fernandes to Gakpo. I think someone was asking about that before, so that's interesting. But my suggested captain is Odegaard. So we'll be taking into account stats, fixtures, opposition, etc. There'll be some great sort of stats behind that. Predictive fitness are from Planet FPL, and I think FPL Kiwi, a lot of people know him, is behind a lot of the stats that are done on this as well. That would be my choice. I've got 12 minutes, guys, before my wife needs to go off to choir. Yes, I know, bad timing, but it happens on a Friday. This is the problem with Friday night deadlines for me. Darwin and Odegaard, Darwin and Odegaard or Darwin and Trent. We've done that one, haven't we? Kane and Dunk, Trippier out. I don't want to take Trippier out, no. I think, I'll be a bit reluctant to take Kane out, but Odegaard, I think, is an upgrade on Martinelli. Darwin's good for this week. Did say earlier in the video he is starting to look like that player that we thought he could be. So, possible. It's a tough one, that, mate. If I had to choose, I think I'd go with the... I think I'd stick with Kane and Martinelli, to be honest with you. But Darwin and Odegaard over Darwin and Trent. Moving on. Double on Pickford and Tarkowski or Sarr and Dawson. Well, Everton beat Arsenal. Whether they can do it away a couple of weeks ago, whether they can do it away, we shall see. But there is a mentality thing there, hopefully. Although we've not done well away at the Emirates at all in recent years. They're much better at Goodison against Arsenal. Pickford's just signed a new contract, so... he's good there. I think Tarkowski is the one. Can you go Sarr and Tarkowski? That might be better, possibly. That might be better. It's just that Wolves have got Liverpool away in the second game, although Everton have got Arsenal away. Again, flip of the coin. The difference is, I suppose, both of Wolves' games are away. Everton have got the home fixture for Tarkowski. Luke, what to do with my team? Team ID 323066. Are you in the league, mate? If you're in the league, I can possibly go to it. I just need to share some things in a minute. If that's, let me do my things from the people who've. I'm running out of time now, so I'm starting to panic. I want to do the top 3 picks and the weekly differential punts. Martinelli could be benched as well. He could be. Pav's coming on rank 15 in the league pool. Well done, Pav, mate. Well done. It's a tough league, isn't it, to get to the top of. FPL Josh, so risky this week. Did Mitro, Patterson to Tarkovsky and Morpay -8? Morpay's a dodgy one, mate. I wouldn't have done that. I think Ellis Sims has got a good shout at starting, to be honest with you. And Bruno to Salah for free. Fair dues. I think Salah's are needed. With teams Kepa, Lewis, Tarkovsky, White, Odegaard, Saka, Salah, captain. Yeah, well done. I think that's the choice, mate. For me, it is anyway. Somerville, Haaland, Kane, Morpay. Cheeky little punt on Morpay. Why not? Martinelli will be benched. I don't know if I'd bench a double game week player, to be honest, this week, mate. Not over Somerville. Personally. I think he'll still get his minutes, even if it's 120. I'm not going to bench Salah, best captain, is my gut feeling. Yep, I think he is. I don't know who to get in for Bruno. You don't know who to get in for Bruno. Well, that's because Bruno's a hard man to replace, mate. That's a hard man to replace. Rate my team. Kepa, Bueno. Hello, Mark, Brian, Joy. How you doing? Kepa, Bueno. Kepa's going to struggle this week, I think. Bueno, yeah, double. Tarkovsky, yeah. Ake, I think he does get a start with Laporte out injured, actually. Salah, Saka, Odegaard, Andreas, Fulham. Tough one this, but they've got Wolves at home tonight. Yeah, could be all right. Just have they got a striker playing that he can supply, because it's more about the assist, isn't he? More about the assist. He had a couple of goals, don't get me wrong. Haaland, Darwin, and Nketiah. I think Nketiah's a good shout. Mate, I struggle with this. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. My biggest worry in your team is Kepa this game week. Ake, does he definitely get a start? I think Saka and Odegaard is a lovely midfield. And Nketiah, well done for not going for the defence and going for the attackers. I'm assuming you had them a couple of weeks ago. Well done, Mark, Brian, Joy. FPL just backfires or pays off, mate. Yeah, that is how it works. 7 minutes. Let me share with you, and unfortunately there's no beautiful graphic because it's half term where I live, and my children have been off all week, which is not great news, particularly for the likes of, like me doing this basically. I had some time last night, but I was just absolutely knackered. And as you can see, I use a lot of energy doing this. So let's start with Evie's weekly differential punts. See if this gives you any help, anybody who's struggling. At 1.1% owned, he has gone for Mikalenko. Looks like if Everton is to stay up, it's the defence who will be thanked, he says. He'll be hungry for a goal after watching the old man Coleman score a stunning goal against Leeds. Interesting, I think he will be. Lovely little shout there. Who did you go for last week, Evie? Are you watching? I can't remember. Is it open? Can I see it? Have I still got it open here? Let's have a look, see if I can see who it was. No, it's not open. Let me know, who was it last week? I can't remember how we did, but the week before it was, he's done quite well the previous weeks that week. So let's see how that one goes. Oh, it was Gakpo last week. Wasn't it? It was Gakpo. How did he do? How did he do in terms of points? Let's have a look. .6 points. So that is 3 weeks out of 3 that Evie's had a return in his differential pick. So well done, Evie. Great to have you on board doing this for us every single game week. Well done, mate. 6 points, 3 out of 3. Well done. Great stuff. Right, on to top 3 picks. And it is currently 1-0 to Aritravo Audi, who picked his 3 players last week, which were Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford in midfield, and whoever his defender was. Sorry, Aritravo. If you're watching, do let us know, mate. Up against Al, who had Reece James, who then was rested, so that wasn't a great start. Picked Matoma in midfield, who didn't return, and then picked Haaland up top, who didn't return either. So, in the stakes of our 2 players with the highest league, all-time league rank, it is currently 1-0 to Aritravo. Al's pick this week. His defender, he's gone for Zinchenko and Saka. And he says both are on a double, and one of those fixtures is Everton at home. He does like to dig the knife into my choice of football team. Thanks very much for that, Al. Now, a variation for the forward. I've not seen this one. Very interesting, especially with double game week players. The forward he's going to go for is Big Willie. Yeah, Big Willie Nonso. Doesn't really fancy any of the forwards on a double. Interesting with Nunes playing. And he thinks there could be a few goals in the Leeds versus Southampton game. So, very interesting. Well done, Al. Thanks very much. If I go to Aritravo Audi, if you're on board, if you want to let us know your reasoning, he's gone in defence, and I've got my fingers crossed for his defensive choice because he's gone for Gabriel at Arsenal. So, as you can see, both of our top-ranked players, both thinking it goes to be an Arsenal defender. So, if you're struggling for a defensive choice, I think Arsenal is the one, and I think Zinchenko, Gabriel, Ben White, Saliba, all very good choices. In midfield, Aritravo has gone for Bukayo Saka. So those of you who are thinking Salah or Saka, maybe Saka is the choice for captaincy. We've got 3 minutes. I'll have a quick look at the predicted points and see what's there. And then forward is on Darwin Nunes. So good luck to you two guys this week. Interesting, different takes from different players. And this game and this channel is all about opinions. Let's go and have a look at the predicted points. Who's the top of the predicted points for this game week? And it's Mo Salah on 12.9 and Nketiah 12.8, Odegaard 12.3, followed by Darwin, Saka, Alexander-Arnold, Robertson, and then Haaland. Zinchenko, Ramsdale in goal. So those are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 or 8 players, all positions for this game week only. And I think that's where we're at. So, for me, I've got my captaincy on Salah. Lovely to see that. We're getting close to the deadline. If anybody wants to I don't know if I'm going to get to have a look at your team here. Let me just see if I can very quickly. Are you still with me, Luke? Let me know, mate. Sorry, a bit late if I've been able to do that. Let me just check my team while you're doing that. Just pick my team, make sure I've got the right players on the bench. Yeah, I have. Doesn't really matter, does it? I'm not going to take any more hits. I'm going to stick with that. Because I just want to bring the players back in. I'm going to cash in on Salah. Salah's only here for this game week. Only here for this game week. Although it's quite nice to have Salah, Kane, Haaland, Fernandes in my team. 4 sort of premium. I still think Fernandes classes as, Rashford's premium at the minute as well. So that's quite a, I'm very happy with my lineup there. Right, what are we on? 1 minute to 6. Luke, let me have a look, see if I can get into your team, mate. Let me have a look. How can I do that? Let's have a look on here. All time, no. Fantasy. Is this a team? This is a team performance. No, that's not the one I want. I don't know where it is. Right, let's have a look. Team analyzer. I know it's a bad idea, but I really don't see any other choice but to go for Gakpo. Go for it then, mate. Go for it. You're higher than me in the league. So, there'll be a reason for that. I'm going to have to go. I'm sorry I can't stay with you till deadline, boys and girls. Luke, I'm going to assume you're not with us anymore, sir. Do subscribe to the channel. Do give me a like on your way out if you're still with me. And apologies for not being able to stay to the deadline, but I have to go and look after the children right here, right now. Have a great game week. I'll be able to do a few more of these next week, probably during the day while the children are at school, and I'll look forward to it. Thanks very much. Take care. See you all later. Bye-bye.